For some reason or other, I can't hear myself, but I guess I'm going on. Yeah. All right. Others. One is Reverend Philip Valentine and Brother Bobby Hemmitt, and they're going to come together. And this was done on October 18th, 1998, and producer is AIC. Now, so far as Philip Valentine, we have volume 1, 2, and 3 on this Bible situation. And the one he did yesterday was number 3. And we want you to enjoy this. This is going to be about 4.5 hours. Yes, we're on the right track. Yeah. But first, let's bring home the little brother, Karanja.
Here today, and the time since I've been here in Harlem or in New York, I've been really gaining a great experience from the different minds and all the different experiences that I've been having. But the greatest of it has been being in this room with other like minds or other data banks who have within them all that they need to know, and that I'm standing before you today to draw from all the great minds that's in here to help me put this together. I'm a student, basically, and I study to find the truth in terms of making that truth practical or applicable when we're talking about sciences of the self or dealing with the knowledge of self. There is no God outside of you, but that God is in you, and it's basically like non-local. You are that with that, and you are everywhere at one time. So what I'm going to be talking about is alchemy. And where I left off the other day, I was talking about purification, which was a phase in alchemy that it began at the beginning of the work in a place that's called the Negrito. The Negrito. And the Negrito, the key thing about the Negrito is that this is the place where the death of the ego occurs. This is the place where you begin to take and apply chemical processes to sublimating your psyche or your consciousness. What's that? That's the N-I-G, Negrito. And within that process, the Negrito process begins or starts with a black dragon. It's symbolized or symbolic of a black dragon. That black dragon is actually talking about, that black dragon, if you know about anything about the Egyptian occult mysticism, if you know anything about that, you'll find that the Kamites in their mythology or in their mystery system, they talked about a place that they call Tuat. Let me put it here for you. We're going to keep using this here because When this is properly understood, this right here is a system that is representing forces within your body that you can utilize and tap into. Okay? In Egyptian, in Hemmitt or Egyptian occult topology, they talk about a place that they call Tuat, or in the Hebrew tradition, they called it Dot. This particular dimension also lies within your head, and it's called the Negrido. And that is the phase in the Egyptian, if you study their understanding of hell or of Amenta, or the place that they call Tat, you'll find that they said that place was occupied by many different monstrous beings to the soul and to the psyche, and it was not something that was welcoming newcomers. This particular entry they said was up under the pyramids. It was a capstone which was representing the Godhead that was over the actual abyss or the Negrido or the Tuat that man's consciousness has to pass into in order to climb the tree. The tree is basically an emanation of different forces. Most of the people in here already know this. But I want to read you something about that stream, because in the Egyptian mythology, they say this particular place that they call Tuat or Twat, which is the crack or the opening of the goddess, is also the crack and the opening within your head that allow for the forces of chaos to create the magical illusion that you see around yourself. This is all happening, it's being recorded in what they call a hollow movement, if you get Michael Talbot's book. But the Hemmitt said that running parallel in the underworld to the Nile River was a place called Tuat, and that when you passed through Tuat, there was a stream of liquid. That particular liquid, I'm going to read you something out of something called the psychic nature of the alchemical work. It's called a stream of black water as in the chaos representing the putrefaction. The putrefaction stage is beginning with the Negrido, whereby your psyche or the thoughts that you have about who you think you are, your self-acquired self, all of our little old idiosyncrasies and the things that we figure that, oh, somebody did this to me, so now my ego, is really hostile now. You have to kill the ego, basically. And I'm not talking to people in here like you haven't began to start this process here. But in the Negrido phase, you have what is called